Going on. Check out these screens, check out these videos. This is incroyable. Incroyable. We have a lot of manhole explosions. Look at this. Come on, people. Is this normal? Do you think this is a normal thing to see so many manholes exploding and popping and running and people running and jumping around? Look at this. Check out these videos. This is incredible. Whoever put this together is fantastic. Hey, one, two, three, four. I can keep counting. Look at these. These are all actual real videos. What I'm showing here are manhole explosions all over a magnificent city. So look at this. The common denominator is redundancy is not the same as diversity. And why does the internet go down? And do we really need it? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to have to ask how many of you have your phone within your paw's reach? I'm tempted to say 10 out of 10 would have to say right in front of my face, actually, or you're watching this stream right now on your phone. Um, a lot of people rely on the internet. Without the internet, I couldn't do this podcast. And honestly, your electric bills wouldn't be accurate. Your gas bills wouldn't be accurate. Your water treatment facilities wouldn't function correctly. The internet is interconnected in all of our lives, and having the proper connectivity, meaning diversity, not redundancy. Look, if you have the ability to get a fixed wireless connection, a fiber connection, get both. Why would you put your eggs in one basket and just get two fibers coming in from underground? Look at all these videos here. These are actual videos of manhole explosions that, guess what, knocked out connectivity um, across the board. It knocked it out. It's over. Connectivity is out for many, many, many businesses. What you can do to reduce your exposure is have a proper network topology for your office. Have your fiber, have your fixed wireless, and have satellite for tertiary. You're locked in, you're solid, you're good. But why am I preaching this? Why am I preaching? I just want to educate people. And, frankly, there's nothing more frustrating when I hear people say, hey, um, fixed wireless doesn't work. It's not a viable solution. It's not fast enough. People, fixed wireless, I can transmit 20 gig of data symmetrical, 20 over 20 gigabits per second. Who needs that bandwidth? I don't know. People want it. We sell it. So it's a commodity. People want something, we sell it. We can offer it, we sell it. So there. Yes, it's ultra low latency. Yes, you can run voice, video, data, um, streams. You can, gaming, the gaming community out there these days. Why does the gaming community love fixed wireless as opposed to fiber? Guess what? Fixed wireless is lower latency than fiber. Shh, don't tell anyone, it's a secret. But here, have a look at this. The Tiffany store on Fifth Avenue, beautiful, beautiful store. Um, they just spent $500 million renovating the store, and there was a fire in the store last week. Oh, it was awful. I felt terrible, and I'm thinking, I wonder if they had fixed wireless in that facility, because that fire started in the basement. And guess what's in the basement? All of your points of entry. Great. People are going to say, "Hey, well, there's diverse points of entry in a building. We're covered." No, you're not covered, because fiber has a cascading effect. It'll follow the fiber line and catch fire, and it'll be like a domino effect. You could be on a different avenue, you could be on a different street, but most of the time they go back to central vault underground. Won't get too technical here, but boom, manholes explode, the grates pop open. We're talking 2-inch thick steel exploding, splitting in half. What? Incredible. The power, the fury coming from underground. Again, fiber is a phenomenal solution, but is it your only solution? No. Think fixed wireless. The purpose of this one-on-one here is to educate people, and realize that when fixed wireless is done correctly, and uh, you know, I don't want to speak ill of anybody, but there are a lot of fixed wireless operators out there today who who have good intentions but don't fully understand the limitations of the actual fixed wireless gear. And what happens is these newer operators will deploy fixed wireless for a client. They'll use equipment that's not meant for that type of installation. And what happens is the end user sees the fixed wireless isn't performing well. There could be packet loss, there could be a lot of jitter. Why is that happening? Well, that happens because operators don't fully understand how fixed wireless works and what the limitations are. There's a great company in New York City. It's been around for 20 years. Um, it's called Natural Wireless, and they fully understand the limitations and the uh, ability of equipment to function as intended, right? What does that mean? That means that this company will deploy the correct equipment for a user at any location they are in their coverage area and still maintain a service level agreement that is on par with a fiber optic service level agreement. Does that make any sense? I think so. I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me actually, but what do I? What does it matter what I make sense? I need to know that you guys all understand it. Look at that. There's a logo in there. It's pretty cool. I put some chats up, and honestly, uh, I can't figure out how to do the chats while I'm talking. That's multitasking, and multitasking is not for me. Mm, End of story. So, look, I'm going to end this. We've been on for 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes. Look at this. Look with your own eyes. Redundancy is not diversity. Redundancy is not diversity. What I'm showing here is that anything you have underground is great. Keep it, get it, buy it, sell it, but get something above ground for your internet connectivity. When I mean above ground, I don't mean getting an LTE hotspot for your office or a 5G cradle point on steroids. Those systems don't function correctly. Because if there is an outage with your fiber, guess who is going to start using the 4G cradle points or any brand of multi combined LTE 5G connections? Everybody is going to start using it. And what happens when everyone starts using a cellular connection? Performance goes downhill, reliability goes downhill. So always remember LTE, cradle points, bonded cellular, blah, 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 blah. It's all best effort. It's not dedicated. I'll kind of touch on the CBRS for a hot minute. CBRS is really cool. Um, but never forget that the US Navy still controls the majority and has priority uh, over CBRS bands, all bands, because they use it for radar, and they also use, and I guess it's the Space Force also uses it for satellite ground stations all across the country. Yes, there's plenty of space that it's not in use, but always remember, CBRS will always and forever give priority to the U.S. Navy because it uses radar, and we need radar on all of our coastlines across the United States. That's one caveat. The other caveat is, yeah, it's cool. Right now, I think it's a little bit expensive to deploy because the tech is new. Yes, it's cool. I would love to start using CBRS. I think I love cool stuff. But right now, at your fingertips, as a diverse connection, I personally wouldn't do CBRS if you want big bandwidth because you can't do big bandwidth right now. I would obviously do the fixed wires from that stellar operator who I was mentioning before, Natural Wireless. They know what they're doing. They've been around for 20 years. And I would get the fiber if you can get it. If you want to pay for it, great. If there's a massive construction build cost to bring in your fiber, look at fixed wireless as an alternative and get something else as a secondary and a tertiary. So, you know, we need to be educated and we need to understand that, you know, everybody needs the internet. It is a critical utility, and it baffles me to this day that the internet is not considered a public utility, and your water, your electricity, um, et cetera, will all get fixed before the internet. But in reality, the the internet is needed to bring online all of those other utilities because it's so intertwined. So think about that for a second. And then, as David Theodore, my friend, would say, the last mile is where the internet goes to die. The last mile is where the internet goes to die. And as you can see from all of these videos right here, how true is this? It's accurate. The last mile is where the internet goes to die. There's no way around it. So folks, um, think diversity, think fixed wireless. Get your fiber if you want it, if it's available, but don't get two fibers. Don't get a satellite connection. Don't get a cable connection. If you can get your hands on a fixed wireless access connection, get it. Get it quoted. Maybe do a little learning. Understand what the benefits are and what the cons are of having two parallel fibers underground. I bet you if one of those fibers goes out, I can assure you the other one's going to also go down. It's just, what's it called? Oh yeah, Murphy's law. I love that statement. Anyway, it's just about 3:08, so I'm going to leave everyone with that. Hope everyone had a wonderful week, and let's do this again shortly.